Welcome, dear listeners, and thank you for choosing to join us today on another tranquil journey. If you followed Silas before, you know that his personal train, the Wanderer, has previously graced the tracks leading to fascinating places like the bustling streets of Tokyo, the serene canals of Amsterdam, and the ancient wonders of Rome. Each stop has offered its own unique rhythm and palette of experiences shared in a gentle and contemplative way. Now, the Wanderer carries us onward to a new destination bathed in sunlight and warm hues, Barcelona. Imagine strolling down sun-drenched streets, the scent of blooming flowers mingling with the aroma of freshly baked bread. Picture yourself amidst the playful, colorful mosaics of Park Güell, or wandering through the vibrant stalls of the Boqueria Market, a feast for all the senses. Feel the gentle sea breeze as you relax on Barceloneta Beach, the rhythmic waves whispering tales of the Mediterranean. These are just glimpses of what awaits in this new audiobook novel. In Warm Hues of Barcelona, we will once again immerse ourselves in Silas's perspective as he explores this captivating Spanish city at a mindful pace. Through his observant eyes, we will notice the subtle details often overlooked, appreciate the beauty of everyday moments, and find a sense of calm within the gentle rhythm of travel. We will explore the historical Gothic quarter as dusk casts long shadows, listen to the lively pulse of La Rambla, and discover quiet corners where time seems to slow. If you are seeking a tranquil escape, a moment of peaceful immersion, we invite you to settle in and let Silas guide you through the warm hues of Barcelona. If you enjoy this calming journey and wish to follow Silas on future adventures, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us to continue creating these serene soundscapes for your relaxation and enjoyment. Now, let the gentle journey begin. Chapter 1. Approaching the coast. The train continues its rhythmic sway, a gentle rocking that settles deep within me. I watch as the landscape outside the window gradually transforms. The dense forests of the interior give way to open fields, punctuated by the occasional olive grove. I trace the lines of the trees as they pass by with my gaze. The air feels different here, carrying the hint of salt and sun. The thought of the sea is soothing, a vast expanse of calm, a space of limitless horizon. I lean my head against the cool glass, closing my eyes for a moment. The train car becomes my quiet sanctuary, its familiar sounds and subtle scent of aged wood lulling me into a peaceful state. Each movement of the train is a reminder of the journey itself and all the moments that are part of this trip. When I open my eyes, the world outside has changed again. I see the first glimpse of the Mediterranean, a shimmering line of blue in the distance. The color is so vibrant, it almost feels like a breath of fresh air. The light reflects back, a soft glow that fills the space around me. I find myself smiling without realizing it. As we draw closer, the blue expands, becoming more distinct, more tangible. The city skyline begins to take shape on the horizon, a blend of modern structures and older buildings that seem to reach up into the sky. I picture the streets, the sounds, and smells of this city and allow myself to get swept away in the imagination of it all. A feeling of anticipation begins to form within me, a gentle excitement for all that is to come. The rhythmic clickety-clack of the wheels, a constant companion, continues its soft murmur. It is a sound that soothes me, that connects me to the present moment. The train gradually begins its slow descent, bringing me closer to my destination, closer to Barcelona. The air now smells more strongly of the sea. I run my hand along the smooth, polished wood of the train car, appreciating the texture, the feel of it beneath my fingertips. It's a small detail, yet it is these subtleties that bring the greatest comfort. The train is more than a vessel of transportation. It is a mobile home filled with memories and a sense of ease. I take another deep breath. This train is my personal space, where I am free to reflect and create without the noise of the world. This time that I spend here on this journey is essential for me, and I know it. The anticipation rises, but not like a wave, more like the gentle tide of the sea coming further up the beach. I settle back into my seat, feeling a sense of calmness wash over me. There is no rush, no urgency. The pace of the journey matches the pace of my thoughts, slow and deliberate. The light streams in through the windows now, painting soft patterns across the surfaces within the train. I imagine the warm air of the city, the vibrant colors, and the sounds of Spanish. Barcelona awaits, a place of history and culture, of hidden corners and open spaces. It feels right that I journey to this location. It has a strong pull on my attention and curiosity. I want to walk in the streets, get to know the people, and explore all the different elements that form this city. The train begins to slow, the approach to Barcelona gentle and peaceful. The city is no longer a distant silhouette, but a closer reality. I can almost hear the echoes of conversations and the subtle sounds of this place. It is time to prepare for a new chapter, for a fresh perspective. I am ready for Barcelona. Chapter 2: Arrival at the Station. The train glides to a stop, a gentle sigh as it settles onto the tracks. The rhythmic clickety-clack fades, replaced by the sounds of the station, the murmur of voices, the announcements in a language that is new to my ears, the soft shuffling of feet. I take a moment, just a beat of a breath, before rising to my feet. I gather my satchel, the weight of it familiar against my shoulder. The leather is smooth, softened by time and countless travels. It contains my notebook, a place where thoughts, observations, and images become a tangible collection of what this journey means to me. A map is nestled within it, ready to guide me through the city. Stepping off the train, I'm immediately enveloped in the energy of the station. The air is warmer here, carrying the scent of coffee and something floral that I cannot quite place. It is a mixture that is both familiar and new. People move with purpose, speaking in a language that I do not yet understand, but the intonation and melodies of the language are calming. I make my way slowly through the crowd, allowing the flow of the movement guide me. I'm not in a rush. I take each step with intention, observing the details that surround me. The architecture of the station is a mix of modern and classic elements. high ceilings and large arches, allowing the light to flow freely within. Sunlight streams in through the large windows, illuminating the bustling station. It creates patches of light and shadow on the polished floor, a gentle dance that invites my attention. I watch as the light plays across the surface of things, adding to a sense of movement without any actual movement. It's beautiful. I pause for a moment, noticing the details. The brass handles on the old wooden benches, the intricate patterns of the tiled floor, and the small details of people's expressions as they meet or depart. It's like each moment has its own unique story that is waiting to be seen. I make a mental note to come back here later when the station is a little more quiet, when I have more time to look. I begin to follow the signs. The words mostly unfamiliar, but the symbols are clear. Guiding me towards the exit, I take my time, reading each sign carefully, repeating the new sounds in my head, feeling the language slowly begin to settle within my awareness. It is exciting to be in a new space and hear a different melody of words all around me. The flow of the station draws me forward, each step becoming a part of this new journey. The sound of the announcements fades slightly, replaced by the sounds of the city coming closer. I know that as soon as I pass through those doors, I will be enveloped by Barcelona itself. I can feel the city beginning to pulse in my awareness. I walk through the large doors, the sounds of the city pouring in, a symphony of voices, car horns, and distant music. The air is warm, carrying a scent of blooming flowers and roasted nuts. It is both exciting and comforting. It is the welcome of the city, and I accept it with an open heart. I stop for a moment just outside of the station doors to get my bearings, to allow myself to become familiar with the newness that surrounds me. The city beckons, and I take the first step forward, ready to let myself be drawn into the flow of Barcelona, a city waiting to be explored. My journey continues. Chapter 3. A Catalan Abode. The taxi moves smoothly through the streets, a gentle hum accompanying the unfolding cityscape. I watch through the window as the buildings transition from modern structures near the station to older, more characterful facades. The streets become narrower, winding in ways that hint at history, at stories embedded in the very stones. The sunlight catches the edges of buildings, creating sharp contrasts of light and shadow. We turn onto a smaller street, cobblestones beneath the wheels adding a subtle rumble to the ride. The buildings here are taller, closer together, balconies adorned with wrought iron and small potted plants. Colors are muted, earthy tones of ochre and terracotta, creating a sense of warmth even in the shade. I notice the small details. The faded paint on a wooden shutter, the intricate carving above a doorway, the way the light catches in a window. The taxi stops, the engine quieting to a soft purr. I step out onto the cobblestones, the ground uneven but solid beneath my feet. The air here is different again, quieter than near the station, carrying a hint of something savory, perhaps from a nearby restaurant. I can hear the distant sounds of conversations, the gentle clinking of cutlery, the soft murmur of city life continuing around me. The building before me is tall and narrow, a wooden door worn smooth with age at the entrance. The address is confirmed, and I take a moment to absorb the details of the facade before stepping inside. It feels like stepping back in time into a space that has witnessed generations pass by. Inside, the entryway is cool and dim, a welcome contrast to the sun-drenched street outside. The air is still and quiet, carrying a subtle scent of old stone and perhaps a faint trace of lemon. I see a small, aged wooden elevator, its brass buttons gleaming softly in the muted light. I decide to take the stairs, wanting to experience the building more intimately. The stairs are stone, worn smooth and cool to the touch. Each step echoes softly in the stairwell, a gentle rhythm as I ascend. I notice the details here too. The wrought iron railings, the small arched windows that offer glimpses of the street below, the way the light filters through the glass, casting soft patterns on the walls. Reaching the correct floor, I find the apartment door. The key turns smoothly in the lock, and I step inside. The apartment is bathed in a soft, warm light, filtered through the shutters at the windows. The first impression is one of calm, of a peaceful retreat from the city outside. The space is cozy, with exposed brick walls that add texture and warmth. A small balcony overlooks the street below, offering a view of the rooftops and the narrow lane. The furniture is simple, comfortable, inviting. I see a small kitchen area, a living space with a comfortable armchair, and a glimpse of a bedroom through an open doorway. I walk to the balcony doors, opening them to let in the city sounds. The murmur of conversations rises up from the street, a gentle hum that is both present and distant. The air is warm, carrying the scent of flowers from a nearby balcony and the subtle aroma of cooking from a kitchen somewhere below. It's a gentle symphony of city life. Stepping back inside, I close the balcony doors slightly, muting the sounds, but not shutting them out completely. This apartment feels right, a space that offers both connection to and respite from the city. It is a place to settle, to observe, to reflect, and to begin to truly experience Barcelona from within its heart. I unpack my satchel slowly, feeling a sense of contentment settle within me. Chapter 4. Gaudi's Masterpiece. The morning light filters gently through the shutters, casting soft stripes across the bedroom floor. I wake slowly. The city sounds a distant murmur, a backdrop to the quiet within the apartment. Today, I plan to visit one of Gaudi's creations, a place I have long anticipated seeing. I imagine the forms, the colors, the way his vision must translate into physical space. Stepping out into the street, the air is fresh and carrying the promise of warmth to come. The narrow streets of the Gothic quarter are still relatively quiet, the early morning light softening the edges of the ancient buildings. I walk without a fixed route, allowing my feet to guide me, enjoying the gentle rhythm of my steps on the cobblestones. The sounds of the city gradually awaken, the clatter of a cafe opening its doors, the distant hum of traffic beginning to build, the melodic call of a bird high above. These sounds are not intrusive, but rather a part of the city's quiet awakening, a gentle stirring to life. I take a deep breath, feeling the cool morning air fill my lungs. The walk to Park Güell is a gradual ascent, taking me through different neighborhoods, each with its own distinct character. The buildings become more varied in style, hints of color appearing in facades, balconies becoming more ornate. The energy of the city shifts subtly, a feeling of moving towards something unique and inspiring. As I approach Park Güell, the atmosphere changes again. A sense of anticipation builds, a feeling of entering a different realm. The entrance is more subtle than I expect, blending into the hillside, as if the park itself emerges organically from the landscape. I step through the gate, and suddenly, I am in a world shaped by a different kind of vision. The first impression is of color, playful and vibrant, integrated into the forms of nature. Mosaics shimmer in the sunlight, reflecting light in unexpected ways, creating patterns that are both intricate and organic. The shapes are fluid, curving, defying straight lines, as if everything has grown rather than been constructed. I wander slowly along the pathways, allowing my gaze to drift over the details. The ceramic tiles, each piece unique, fitted together to create surfaces that are alive with texture and color. The structures seem to mimic natural forms like trees and caves, yet they are clearly the product of human imagination, a beautiful merging of nature and art. The sounds here are softer, more diffused. The murmur of voices from other visitors, the rustle of leaves in the trees, the gentle splash of water from a hidden fountain. The atmosphere is one of peaceful exploration, a quiet wonder at the creativity that surrounds me. I sit for a moment on a mosaic bench, the cool tiles smooth beneath my hand, and look out over the city spread below. From this vantage point, Barcelona stretches out in a tapestry of rooftops and streets, the sea a distant shimmering line. But here, within the park, the world feels different, calmer, more whimsical. Gaudi's vision has created a space that is both enchanting and grounding, a place where imagination and nature coexist in harmony. I continue to explore, drawn by the different paths, each turn revealing new perspectives, new details to observe. The warm hues of the mosaics, the organic forms of the structures, the gentle play of light and shadow all contribute to a sense of tranquility and inspiration. It feels as though in this space, time slows down, and the mind can wander freely, lost in the beauty of Gaudi's masterpiece. Chapter 5. The Rambla Stroll. Leaving the peaceful heights of Park Güell, I find myself drawn towards La Rambla, a street I have heard described as the heart of Barcelona. The descent back into the city feels like a shift in tempo, from the tranquil park to the vibrant pulse of urban life. I walk with a sense of anticipation, wondering how this famous boulevard will feel. As I approach La Rambla, the sounds of the city amplify. The gentle murmur of voices grows into a lively hum, punctuated by snippets of laughter, the rumble of distant traffic, and the occasional musical note. The air becomes warmer, carrying a mix of scents, blooming flowers, roasting coffee, and a faint hint of the sea not far away. Entering La Rambla is like stepping onto a stage, a wide pedestrian boulevard teeming with life. It is broader than I imagined, allowing space for a multitude of experiences to unfold simultaneously. The central walkway is filled with people strolling, chatting, and simply being present in the moment. On either side, narrower lanes accommodate a slower pace, lined with shops, cafes, and flower stalls. My senses are immediately engaged. The visual tapestry is rich and varied. Colorful flower stalls bursting with blooms, newsstands displaying vibrant magazines and papers, street performers enacting miniature dramas, and a constant flow of people from all walks of life. I let my gaze drift over the scene, taking in the details without rushing. The sounds are equally immersive. The chatter of conversations in Spanish, interspersed with other languages, blends with the calls of vendors, the rhythmic strumming of a guitar from a street musician, and the general hum of the city's energy. It's a vibrant symphony, full of life and movement. I pause for a moment to simply listen, allowing the sounds to wash over me. I begin to stroll slowly along the central walkway, becoming part of the flow of people. There is no need to hurry. The pace of La Rambla itself seems to encourage a leisurely saunter. I observe the people around me, families enjoying a day out, couples holding hands, individuals lost in their own thoughts, tourists taking photographs, and locals engaged in animated conversations. The flower stalls are a particular delight, each one a miniature garden overflowing with color and fragrance. Roses in every shade imaginable, vibrant carnations, exotic orchids, and countless other blooms create a feast for the eyes and nose. I pause at one stall, inhaling the sweet, heady perfume, noticing the delicate textures of the petals. As I walk further, I pass street performers, each creating their own little world within the larger stage of La Rambla. A mime artist captivating a small crowd, a living statue frozen in a dramatic pose, musicians filling the air with melodies, and artists sketching portraits. They each add a layer to the rich tapestry of the boulevard. The warm sunlight filters through the plane trees that line La Rambla, casting dappled shadows on the walkway. The leaves rustle gently in the breeze, adding a natural sound to the urban soundscape. The shade is welcome, offering moments of coolness amidst the warmth of the day. I feel a sense of ease walking beneath the trees. La Rambla is a place of constant motion and change, yet there is also a sense of timelessness, of a tradition of strolling and observing that has unfolded here for generations. I continue my slow walk, absorbing the atmosphere, letting the vibrant energy of La Rambla become a part of my experience of Barcelona, feeling a quiet sense of joy in being present in this moment, in this place. Chapter 6. The Boqueria Market. Turning off the bustling Rambla, I am drawn towards the Mercat de Sant Josep de la Boqueria, a place I've read about, a market said to be a feast for the senses. The sounds of La Rambla begin to soften slightly as I step into a side street, a prelude to the market's own unique atmosphere. I walk with a sense of gentle curiosity, anticipating the new sensations that await. Even before I reach the entrance, the air begins to change. The scent of flowers from La Rambla is replaced by a more complex aroma, a blend of fresh produce, spices, and something savory cooking nearby. The sounds become more concentrated too, a lively hum of voices, the calls of vendors, the gentle clatter of market life. Stepping through the market entrance is like crossing a threshold into a different world. I am immediately enveloped by a vibrant energy, a sense of abundance and life. The space opens up into a vast hall, its high ceiling allowing light to stream in, illuminating the kaleidoscope of colors and textures within. The first impression is overwhelmingly visual. Stalls overflow with produce, meticulously arranged in pyramids of color. Deep red tomatoes, vibrant green peppers, oranges glowing like captured sunlight, and piles of leafy greens in every shade imaginable. It is a living, still life, a celebration of nature's bounty. I pause to take it all in, letting my eyes wander over the sheer variety. My gaze drifts towards the seafood stalls, where glistening displays of fish and shellfish rest on beds of ice. Silver scales catch the light, contrasting with the deep reds and pinks of prawns and crustaceans. The scent here is distinctly oceanic, fresh and clean, mingling with the other aromas of the market in a unique and complex fragrance. Moving further, I encounter stalls piled high with cured meats and charcuterie. The air becomes richer, carrying the savory aromas of smoked paprika, aged ham, and fragrant sausages. The textures are equally compelling. Smooth marbled surfaces of Iberian ham, rustic crusts of bread, and the glistening sheen of olives in brine. Spice stalls beckon with mounds of colorful powders and dried herbs, each container emitting its own distinct fragrance. Deep reds of paprika, golden yellows of saffron, earthy browns of cumin, and countless other shades create a painter's palette of scents and colors. The air is warm and aromatic, carrying the exotic notes of distant lands. I observe the people within the market, vendors calling out their wares with practiced ease, shoppers carefully selecting their produce, friends chatting and laughing as they browse, and families exploring the stalls together. There's a sense of community, a shared appreciation for the simple pleasures of food and connection. At one stall piled high with olives of every variety, I pause. The vendor, a woman with kind eyes and a warm smile, offers me a sample. The olive is plump and flavorful, bursting with a briny, slightly fruity taste. We exchange a few words, a simple transaction that feels more like a brief connection. I purchase a small container, wanting to savor the taste later. Leaving the Boqueria Market, I carry with me not just the olives, but a rich sensory memory. The vibrant colors, the diverse aromas, the lively sounds, and the subtle tastes have created an experience that lingers. It is a microcosm of Barcelona itself, a place where the everyday is celebrated with color, flavor, and life. The market is more than just a place to buy food. It is a vibrant heart of the city. Chapter 7: Beachside Relaxation. Leaving the lively energy of the Boqueria Market, I decide to seek out the coast to find the Barceloneta beach I have heard about. The air grows warmer as I walk, and a distinct salty scent begins to permeate the air, drawing me towards the sea. The sounds of the city transition once more, the market hum replaced by a gentler, more rhythmic sound. The streets gradually widen, opening up to reveal glimpses of blue in the distance. The buildings become lower, more open, reflecting the seaside atmosphere. I can hear the faint cries of seagulls now, a sound that always evokes a sense of freedom and openness. The anticipation of reaching the beach grows with each step. As I emerge onto the Barceloneta, the scene unfolds before me, a wide expanse of golden sand meeting the shimmering blue of the Mediterranean. The beach is alive with activity, yet there is also a sense of relaxed ease that permeates the atmosphere. The sounds are a blend of waves gently rolling onto the shore, the happy shouts of children playing, and the distant murmur of conversations. The sand is warm beneath my feet, fine and soft, yielding with each step. I walk closer to the water's edge, feeling the slight breeze coming off the sea, carrying with it the fresh, salty scent of the ocean. The air is filled with light, reflecting off the water and the pale sand, creating a bright, open vista. I find a spot on the sand, not too crowded, but still within the gentle hum of beach life. Spreading out my satchel as a makeshift mat, I sit down, leaning back against it, and simply observe. The world here moves at a different pace, slower, more attuned to the rhythm of the waves. Families are building sandcastles, their laughter echoing in the sea air. Friends are playing beach volleyball, their movements energetic against the backdrop of calm water. Individuals are sunbathing, lost in books or their own thoughts. The scene is a tapestry of simple pleasures, of people enjoying the warmth of the sun and the nearness of the sea. And so, the waves roll in and out, a constant soothing rhythm. The sound is hypnotic, a gentle whooshing as the water reaches the sand, followed by a soft, retreating murmur. I close my eyes for a moment, just listening to the waves, feeling the warmth of the sun on my face, allowing the sounds to wash away any lingering thoughts. After a while, a gentle thirst reminds me of the warmth of the day. I walk to a nearby beachside eatery, a simple kiosk with a shaded seating area. The air here smells of grilled seafood and citrus. I order a cool drink, the condensation beading on the outside of the glass, feeling refreshing in my hand. Sitting at a small table under the shade, I sip the cool drink, watching the beach scene unfold before me. The light is softer now, the sun beginning to move towards the afternoon. The atmosphere is peaceful, relaxed, a perfect moment of respite. I savor the simple taste of the drink, the gentle breeze on my skin, and the view of the endless blue horizon. The beach offers a different perspective on Barcelona, a space of openness and calm within the vibrant city. It is a place to simply be, to breathe in the sea air, to feel the sun, and to appreciate the simple beauty of the moment. Refreshed and at ease, I feel a quiet sense of gratitude for this moment of beachside relaxation, a gentle pause in my exploration of the city. Chapter 8. The Gothic Quarter at Dusk. As the afternoon softens into dusk, I find myself drawn to the Gothic Quarter, wanting to experience its ancient heart as the day's energy begins to subside. Leaving the open expanse of the beach, I walk back into the city, the atmosphere gradually shifting from bright and breezy to something more intimate and hushed. The air feels a little cooler now, carrying a hint of damp stone and the faintest whisper of wood smoke from a distant kitchen. Entering the Gothic Quarter, is like stepping back through time. The narrow streets, paved with cobblestones worn smooth by centuries of footsteps, wind and turn in a labyrinthine embrace. Buildings rise tall on either side, their facades aged stone, displaying the marks of time like wrinkles on skin. Shadows lengthen, deepening the mystery and charm of the quarter. The light is changing, the sun dipping lower, casting a warm golden hue on the upper stories of the buildings, while the street level is already bathed in soft shadow. The stone seems to absorb the light, glowing with a gentle warmth. Windows begin to illuminate from within, casting squares of soft light onto the narrow lanes, like welcoming beacons in the gathering dusk. The sounds of the city also shift. The lively chatter of daytime crowds diminishes, replaced by a quieter hum of conversation, the distant clinking of glasses from a taverna, and the gentle rhythm of footsteps echoing on the stones. The air feels stiller, imbued with a sense of peaceful anticipation as the evening approaches. I wander without a specific direction, allowing the narrow streets to guide me, drawn by the subtle shifts in light and shadow, the glimpses down even narrower alleyways. Each turn reveals a new vista, a different perspective on the ancient architecture. The weight of history feels palpable here, a sense of stories held within the stones themselves. I pause in a small square, noticing a fountain at its center, the water murmuring softly as it spills from stone basin to stone basin. The sound is gentle, rhythmic, a peaceful counterpoint to the city's sounds. Around the square, the buildings are even older, their facades adorned with carvings and details that hint at centuries past. Sitting on a stone bench near the fountain, I observe the subtle changes as dusk deepens. The sky above transitions from a soft blue to shades of lavender and rose. The warm light on the buildings fades, replaced by a cooler, more ethereal glow. The atmosphere becomes increasingly tranquil, inviting introspection and quiet contemplation. The air is still now, the sounds of the city muted, as if holding its breath in the transition between day and night. The Gothic quarter at dusk feels like a sanctuary, a place apart from the rush of modern life, where time seems to slow down and the beauty of the past is gently illuminated. It's a moment to appreciate the stillness and quiet that descends with the fading light. As darkness gently envelops the Gothic quarter, a sense of calm settles over me. The ancient stones, bathed in soft light and shadow, exude a quiet strength and enduring beauty. It is a peaceful embrace, a moment to simply be present in the heart of Barcelona, surrounded by history and the gentle promise of evening. The quarter at dusk is a world away from the bustling beach, and I feel a sense of quiet joy in experiencing this shift in atmosphere, in embracing the warm hues of the Gothic quarter at dusk. Chapter 9. Preparing for the road. The soft evening light filters through the shutters once more, casting long shadows across the room as dusk deepens in Barcelona. A gentle hum of the city still drifts in through the open balcony doors, a muted sound that is now more a background comfort than a vibrant pulse. Inside the apartment, a quiet stillness begins to settle, mirroring the calmness within my own thoughts as I prepare to leave. It is time to gather my belongings, to carefully pack, and to ready myself for the journey onward. A familiar rhythm of transition. The air is still and warm, carrying the subtle scent of the city as it settles into the night. My movements are slow and deliberate as I begin to pack, folding clothes and carefully placing items back into my worn leather satchel. Each action is mindful, a moment of quiet reflection on the experiences of the past few days spent exploring Barcelona's unique character. Packing feels like a gentle closing of this chapter, a neat gathering of memories and impressions before turning the page to the next destination. The touch of the familiar fabrics and well-used objects in my bag brings a quiet sense of continuity to my travels. It is a comforting ritual, this act of preparing for the road ahead. Barcelona's warm hues and gentle rhythms begin to replay in my mind as I continue packing, a soft montage of images and sensations. I recall the playful colors of Park Güell, the bustling energy of La Rambla, and the vibrant abundance of the Boqueria Market. The golden light of dusk in the Gothic quarter and the soothing sounds of Barceloneta Beach also come to mind. A quiet sense of gratitude rises within me for these experiences, for the beauty and simple joys this city has offered so readily. These moments, now carefully stored as memories, will travel with me as I continue my journey. I think of the friendly faces encountered in the market, the shared smiles with vendors, and the gentle interactions with people simply going about their day. There was a warmth in these brief connections, a sense of openness and welcome that seems to permeate the spirit of this place. These subtle exchanges, though fleeting, weave together to create a sense of connection to the city and its people. It is these small human moments that often resonate most deeply during my travels. A quiet appreciation for these shared moments settles within me, a gentle warmth in my heart. Soon it will be time to check on the wanderer, to ensure everything is ready for departure in the morning light. The train patiently waiting. I picture the familiar interior, the worn armchair and writing desk, my comfortable space ready to embrace the next leg of the journey. Ensuring all is in order within the train is another form of preparation, a practical task that also holds a deeper meaning of readiness. It is like preparing a familiar home to move to a new vista, ensuring comfort and ease for what lies ahead. Before leaving the apartment, I pause for a moment, looking around the temporary space that has been my quiet haven in Barcelona. The warm evening light casts a gentle glow on the walls, and the sounds of the city murmur softly outside the balcony. This space offered a peaceful respite, a comfortable anchor amidst the vibrant energy of the city. A quiet acknowledgement of this space and the peace it provided fills me before I turn to leave. It is a gentle farewell to this temporary home within Barcelona's embrace. A subtle anticipation for the road ahead begins to stir within me, mingled with a quiet touch of nostalgia for the experiences gathered here. The journey itself calls with the promise of new landscapes and new encounters awaiting just beyond the horizon. Barcelona's warm hues will remain as a cherished memory, a vibrant thread in the rich tapestry of my travels. Ready for the quiet rhythm of the train and the unfolding landscapes, I step out into the Barcelona evening, a gentle smile gracing my lips. Chapter 10. Farewell, Barcelona. The gentle rocking motion of the wanderer begins once more, a familiar rhythm returning as the train slowly pulls away from Barcelona station. Early morning light streams through the panoramic windows, casting a soft glow across the interior of my mobile home as we start to move. A quiet hum of the engine joins the rhythmic clickety-clack of the wheels, a comforting sound that signals the start of a new journey. I settle into my armchair, feeling a sense of peaceful contentment as Barcelona slowly recedes into the distance behind the departing train. The air within the carriage is still and calm, holding the quiet anticipation of the open track ahead. Looking out the window, the cityscape of Barcelona gradually unfolds, a panorama of rooftops, buildings, and the distant silhouette of the coastline. The morning light paints the urban landscape in soft hues, illuminating familiar landmarks now becoming a part of my memory. The vibrant colors of the city, now viewed from a slight distance, blend together in a harmonious tableau. It is a final visual imprint of Barcelona, a gentle farewell painted across the unfolding scenery outside my window. The images become softer as the train gains momentum, steadily moving away from the city limits. My thoughts drift back to the warm hues of Barcelona, recalling the specific shades and tones that painted my experiences within the city. The playful mosaics of Park Güell, with their vibrant colors and unique forms, come to mind, a masterpiece bathed in sunlight. I remember the rich, deep reds and yellows of the Boqueria Market produce, a feast for the senses in every stall. The golden warmth of the Gothic quarter at dusk, illuminating ancient stones, also surfaces as a cherished image. These visual memories, these warm hues, now settle gently within my mind as lasting impressions of Barcelona. Beyond the visual impressions, I also recall the atmosphere of Barcelona, the feeling of warmth and welcome that permeated the city. The lively energy of La Rambla and the relaxed pace of Barceloneta Beach both offered unique experiences of the city's character. There was a gentle rhythm to daily life, a welcoming spirit in chance encounters, and a general feeling of ease in simply being present. This warm atmosphere, infused with the energy of the city and the openness of its people, creates a lasting sense of fond remembrance. Barcelona's spirit now feels like a gently held warmth within my own. A quiet sense of gratitude rises within me as I reflect on my time spent in Barcelona, appreciating the simple beauty and unexpected joys encountered there. The slow pace of exploration allowed for deeper observations and a richer immersion in the city's unique rhythm. Moments of quiet contemplation in parks and lively exchanges in markets contributed equally to a fulfilling experience. These varied moments, now woven together, form a complete and cherished memory of this Spanish city. I feel a deep appreciation for the experiences Barcelona gifted me with. Now, as the wanderer steadily travels onwards, my thoughts naturally turn towards the journey ahead, a familiar sense of anticipation. The rhythmic motion of the train is comforting, a gentle lullaby that soothes and invites contemplation as the landscapes begin to transform again. The familiar creak of the carriage and the gentle sway of the train are like old friends accompanying me onward. There is a quiet joy in the promise of new discoveries and the unknown paths that lie ahead on this continuing journey. The open track beckons with the allure of new vistas and experiences yet to unfold. Barcelona, with its warm hues and gentle spirit, now becomes a beautiful chapter in the ongoing story of my travels, a cherished memory to revisit in quiet moments. The experiences gathered here enrich the tapestry of my journey, adding vibrant threads of color and feeling to the overall design. As the train carries me further away, I carry Barcelona within me, its warmth and beauty becoming a part of my perspective. With a peaceful heart and a gentle smile, I look forward to where the tracks may lead, embracing the open road and the unfolding journey.